Hello friends, I'm Brian, and this is Gizmo Board Games. Today, I am talking about what I played in June of 2020. I'm going to go through every game I played, starting with June 1st, until the one I just finished playing shortly before filming this video. It is currently the 30th of June in the afternoon, and it's pretty warm here in Germany in this unair-conditioned room in the middle of the summer. So I might be a little sweaty, hopefully not, but just so you know, if you see some sweat, that's why. Anyway, let's get this thing started. I've got 56 total games that I played this month. Those aren't 56 unique games. There are 23 unique games on this list, and a lot of them are shorter plays, hence 56 is the count of total games played. I had a lot of quick off games this month. I got 10 new ones and 1 new expansion played this month, and I've only repeated 5 games from last month, and those 5 are all games I really enjoy and don't mind repeating month to month anyway. So without further ado, the first game I played was Foundations of Rome. Got another 5-player game, maybe it was 4 or 5. It was pretty full board again on the first of the month. And I played it again later in the month, just last week. Again, another 5-player game. So I've got a pretty good feel of Foundations of Rome at the higher player counts. I also played the solo game, I think, last month. And I enjoy it definitely with more players. I don't know what the sweet spot is, having only played with 1, 2, and 5, but I've enjoyed it on every level. Not solo as much as the others, but Foundations of Rome, still a good game. The second game I played this month is Quacks of Quedlinburg, and that's a bag kind of push your luck, pulling out of the bag, placing shits down on the board, trying to build your potion and get the most points, and you're drafting. It's kind of a bag builder based on what you get. You're buying more things to put in your bag, so that way your turns get better and better as the game goes on. Another really enjoyable game that I haven't played in a little while, but got it back on the table in June. Quacks of Quedlinburg. The next game is the first new to me game that I got in June, and that is Zombicide. I played this solo, and it went okay. I didn't win. I don't even think I really came close to winning the scenario that I tried. I tried it a couple, 2 or 3 different times with various different players in, and I don't know. I could see where it could be fun as kind of a beer and pretzels game, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I was playing solo, but the gameplay just didn't really feel like it was for me too much. It was okay. I could see where you could enjoy it, and I could see maybe enjoying it with more people around, just kind of running from the zombies and the silliness, but it's definitely not something I feel like I need to go out of my way to get the 72 expansions that now exist for it. That's probably an exaggeration, but I know there's a lot of expansions and it gets a lot of love, but not really my style of game. I could see playing it for sure, again, no problem, but not something I want to go seek out a whole lot either. A game I do want to seek out some more, Keyflower, and this one is highly rated, and I really enjoyed it. I love the push and pull aspect of placing the workers out. The colors matter, the number of workers you're placing matter. You can block people out, or you can just outbid somebody else if they didn't play enough workers. You're building up to kind of build an engine where you're playing on yourself, but you're also playing on everybody else. But when you play on them, they get your workers for the next round. So there's a lot of push and pull, a lot of strategy, and re-strategizing based on what everybody around you is doing. And it's just a lot of fun, well worth the hype and the ratings it gets. Keyflower. I really enjoyed that one. The next game I played in June was Horrified. It's a co-op game where you're running around trying to defeat the classic monsters before they cause too much terror in your town. Played this one a couple times. We played the 3-monster version, and that was a little tough. I think we lost every time. Or we won maybe. I think we won one of them, but I lost 1 or 2. And every game was tight, and it's another game I really enjoy playing. It's easy to teach new people. Again, cooperative. It's always easier to get cooperatives out, in my opinion, as far as getting new games to the table for people who might not be gamers, because or for anybody really learning a game. It's always easier to work with people to teach them instead of trying to teach them while working against them. That's my opinion. So Horrified, I like to get out, like to get on the table. Just a fun, easy little co-op. I guess not easy, but a fun co-op that is variable. And, you know, I've always kind of liked the horror genre. I think it fits really well in gaming, especially in a cooperative game where you're literally playing against monsters. After Horrified came Cascadia. I played this one last month as a new game that I just got last month, and I'm still playing it, still enjoying it. It's getting a lot of hype. It got nominated for the Game of the Year at the German Essen game convention that I'm looking forward to hopefully going to this year. Keep my fingers crossed that that'll all work out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go, but not 100% yet. I guess we'll see as it gets closer, but hopefully this will be the first game I own that wins the Game of the Year after I own it and not before. I'm kind of on my way to pick up some of the prior winners, and this time maybe I've got ahead of the curve. I really enjoy it. It's a fun game, easy game. Again, well worth the praise that and love it's been getting from everybody these days. Cascadia. Next, I played On Tour. It's a little roll and writes. I don't play many roll and writes, or I didn't play many roll and writes coming into this month, I should say. Got a game in of On Tour in a new game group I found locally. Checked them out a couple times this month when I had the chance. And we played On Tour. First, you know, roll and write plays numerous people. If you've got basically dice and the boards for everybody, you can play it. And you're going around, and based on your dice roll, you're rolling 2d10s, and you know, you're going to put them together as, like, if you roll a 1 and 9, it's going to be a 19 and then a 91. You got 3 cards out, and those cards are going to tell you where you're placing the dice into which zone. And you're just building a route for your band to go on tour, and you need the route to go in numerical order and hit as many stops as you can along the way. And it's pretty easy, really fun, really good. I really enjoyed it. On Tour, roll and write that I might look at picking up for myself. After On Tour, I played Skyjo, another big, easy game to play with lots of people. I don't know how many it plays exactly. Little card game. Basically, a bunch of cards between whatever the value, -2 and 10, I think, that you're playing out in a tableau in front of you. And you're trying to get the lowest score by getting rid of cards. And most of them you don't see, but as you play, you're going to see more and more. And you're passing things, you know, to the next player. Blindly, potentially giving them better cards. If you get 3 in a column, you can wipe that whole column out. So you could take like a bunch of 7s, for example, and instead of getting 21 points, you wipe that out and now you get 0 points. It's basically golf, the card game. If you're playing with standard deck of cards, it's just built into a bigger deck that is Skyjo. It was all right. I played golf, the card game, and it's all right. It's good for a group of people around a table for a quick and easy game. So it worked out in the situation we were at with 8 people. Not something I would probably seek out, but not something I would avoid either. It's a game. And it was all right. It was Skyjo. All right, the 9th game I played in June is a game I'm probably going to play every month as much as I can. It's still one of my favorite games ever since I got it, and it's Ark Nova. I'm introducing it to new people whenever I get a chance and have the time because, it is a big time killer. I've also played it solo this month again and lost, so it doesn't matter the player count for me. I really enjoy everything that Ark Nova has to offer, and yeah, check out my review of it if you haven't already. Next game I played is Sagrada. Sagrada's game I've had for a while. Haven't got off the shelf in quite some time. It's another, you're rolling dice and you're drafting them. I played solo, but it's not really a preferred way, but it is a viable way, and that's how I played it this month. But basically you're just drafting a dice, and you're placing it into your stained glass 5x5 little grid, and you got to follow number and color rules to make your grid legal, and then you're trying to meet certain goals that are on the table. And basically whoever builds out the best stained glass window to the specifications of their board and to their secret objective and the public objectives, wins the game. It plays pretty quick and easy. I enjoy it enough, I guess. I should say I enjoy it a lot. for as quick and simple as it is. You know, I know some people don't really like it, but I do. So Sagrada, I got that one off the shelf again this month. Played a solo game of it and enjoyed it. The 11th game I played in June is a game that's new to me. I got from the library. It is Marvel Champions. It's another game that I know a lot of people love, and I gave it a few plays, both solo and in a pair grouping. And it took me a little while to kind of grasp the concept. So, I mean, I knew the concept. You know, card deck builder. You're playing the cards you have. It's a living card game, and you're trying to defeat the bad guy. I just felt like it was a little overpowered, and I didn't think I fully understood it the first couple times. I did beat it the third time after somebody helped me on a Discord and kind of pointed me in a couple. I was mostly playing it right. I missed one little rule. I don't know how much impact that had versus just the bad luck of the cards. But I was able to finally get the win. And I don't know. It's anything that I got to invest more and more money in. I'm not always. It's like Magic. I used to play Magic, and then it's just so hard to keep up. And if you're not investing into the cards, you're just going to be left behind. And I know Marvel Champions, you can play with the basic game, and you're still playing the game, so you're not forced into keeping up as much. But if you want to get the most out of it, I think you need to kind of like work on building the deck and kind of min-maxing your odds. And that's just, I don't know. I don't like the outside the game gameplay. I'd rather pull the box out, you know, shuffle the cards and get rolling and not think too much about it. But I know people like the IP. I know people like pulling it out. For me, if I'm going to play a Marvel deck building card game, I'm going to stick with Marvel Legendary that I've been playing for 6-7 years now. And, you know, they basically are the same. I know there's a bunch of differences in how they play, but concept of operations is mostly the same, except with Champions, you're building the deck before you play, and with Legendary, you're building it as you play, and I just prefer that because it changes the game each time as well. Anyway, enough about that. Marvel Champions is a decent game, just not something I cared for a whole lot. Would I play it again? Yeah, I'll play it any game, pretty much any time except Munchkin, and I'll probably even play that if I had to. But yeah, I won't seek it out, but I'll play it if offered, for sure. All right, the 12th game I played, getting to the halfway point here, is Sprawlopolis. I played this one basically every month since I got it. It's easy, you know, button shy game, 18 cards, play them out, play a game in 10 minutes, get your score, move on. The 13th game I played is new to me. Also, it arrived for me this month. It's on the shelf behind me. Rolling Realms. It's another roll and write. So 2 roll and writes. I think I played 2 in my whole life up until June, and then I played 2 in June. And I've been playing a lot of Rolling Realms, mostly solo. In fact, only solo. I tried to teach it once. People didn't grasp it. We moved on, grabbed a different game. But I've been playing it solo by myself. That is solo. That was redundant. But yeah, it's got a built-in miniature golf course where you're kind of rolling against the realms that are out there and just trying to meet the requirements of each hole and get the lowest amount of tries at a hole. And I'm about halfway through the 18-hole solo golf course, and then I played against Jamie Stegmeyer, the game creator. Gets on Facebook/YouTube, I think once a week, and rolls out, you know, a game which is 3 rounds. And I played a couple against him too that have been on YouTube. So I play a lot of Rolling Realms. I think 20 of my 56 plays this month were just Rolling Realms. I've got that to my table a lot because it's quick, easy, roll and write, playing by myself, just kills the time in a fun way. The 14th game I played this month is Stone Age. It's a game I have not gotten off the shelf in a long time. One of my buddies here in the game group keeps pointing at me like, hey, we should try that. Hey, we should try that. So we did. We tried it. One of the original worker placements with some dice luck, rolling for resources, and then you're trying to build huts and get the most points at the end of the game for what you did, based on what you accumulated and what you know, the huts you did, and the cards have special in-game scoring, and you know, you're feeding your workers, you're sending them out, you're creating more workers with the hut, the Love Shack that is in Stone Age. And yeah, it's great. It's got the The thing I really like, because I'm not big on rolling dice, as far as like I like rolling dice if you're using what you rolled. I don't like rolling dice if you're trying to roll certain things, because I'm just terrible at rolling. And I don't like the luck. But it's got the tools that let you mitigate the luck too. So I really enjoy Stone Age. It's a game I've had on my shelf for quite a long time, and got it off my shelf for the first time in probably 3 or 4 years. And we had a fun time playing it. And it's one that's probably going to stay on my shelf for a while still, even though I've got other worker placements that I typically play more. Just the basic originality, I guess. The old classic that is Stone Age. It's sticking around. Okay, so the 15th game I played in June is another new to me game. It's Galaxy Trucker. It's a game where basically 2 phases of the game. In one phase, you've got the pieces on the board, and you're just building your ship. Building your ship from all the junk and weaponry and everything that's on the table. And basically you're kind of racing to do that, but it's not a fast race. But first person done is going to take the first place order in the track for the second phase, and then start the timer, and everybody else has until the timer's done. Once everybody's got their ships on board, then you're going out to the space phase, and you're encountering events along the way. You're going to lose your crewmates. You're going to shoot off missiles, you're going to raid planets, you're going to raid other ships might raid you, etc. You could end up losing parts of your ships if you didn't build a good enough ship to stave off everything that's in your path. And then whoever gets to the end first gets bonus points, and then you're going to sell your goods back, and you're going to get points based on for how well your ship held up. It's quick-ish, not super quick, but fun to play. You're pulling out the tiles, building your ship, and then you're going on the adventure with your ship and seeing how well you did, and then moving on. So it's fun. It was a really fun game. I enjoyed playing it. I think we all kind of enjoyed the ship building aspect of it more than the space phase of it. But without the space phase, you can't really tell how you actually did in the game. So I think you need both phases. But I think everybody I play with it just enjoyed the puzzle of building the ship. So good on the game for making the not game part of the game the fun part of the game, while still having the gamey part of the game matter too. That's Galaxy Trucker, a game that we played a couple times and enjoyed. Alright, the 16th game is a game I've been looking forward to ever since I heard it was announced. I haven't played it officially cooperative yet. It's Viticulture World from Stonemaier Games. Came a cooperative version of one of my favorite games, Viticulture. I played a quick solo just to learn how to play it, so that way when I get the group together, I already know how to play. I played it solo. I don't know that I really liked it a lot. I don't think the solo mode works as well as it could, at least as I interpreted it. I think it'll work better with the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. And not playing against or with the Automa that I was actually kind of playing against, because they kept jumping on the spots I need, and that's kind of annoying in a worker placement game when you get, and they mitigate it with letting you pay to move them off of it, but then you're losing items for their actions instead of gaining items for their actions. So I don't know, something didn't sit right with me with the solo Automa gameplay, but it's still Viticulture and it was still fun-esque. But until I play it with real people a couple times, I definitely prefer the non-cooperative Viticulture. So I look forward to getting Viticulture World out on the table with a real group to see how it holds up without the Automa. But Viticulture is a game I as of right now, I definitely prefer the non-cooperative version. But I did play Viticulture World, game I'd been looking forward to for a while, and I'm still looking forward to playing it in a group. So there's that. We almost got it to the table in a group, but we weren't sure about the time because we would have had to teach Viticulture first, because only me and one other person in our group was familiar with Viticulture, and just felt like we didn't have the time to teach Viticulture and then teach Viticulture World, because you need to kind of know how to play Viticulture before you can jump into the world. But that was the 16th game I played, Viticulture World. The 17th game I played is another game I play pretty often when I get the chance, and that is Wingspan. I played it last month. We played it again this month, and we taught it to a new guy. And one thing that I knew it existed, but for somebody who'd never played the game to win because of it, shows that there still might be some little flaws in the game. And that is when you get the right card at the beginning of the game that lets you skip a whole action row. And the new person we taught, he got that card in the first round and basically never had to draw eggs the whole game. And I feel like the game's kind of broken if there's cards that do that. So maybe I'll go through and try to pull those cards out. I don't know. It's all right if they come later, but if that's the first bird you play, that's not good. So, but it happened, and good for him. He won, the teach game. It's just unfortunate that he won because he didn't have to do a quarter of the game. All right, so the next game I played is Champions of Midgard. I taught this to the new game group I found locally. A couple of people there had never played it. I'm interested in it, and we had a good time. Some of the lowest scores I think I've ever seen at the end of Champions of Midgard, but we did play with only the 5-player expansion and not the Valhalla expansion, again for time constraints. And I don't really like Champions of Midgard without the Valhalla because it gets rid of the dice. Like I said earlier, I don't like dice luck. In Champions of Midgard, it has a lot of dice luck without the Valhalla expansion. And the Valhalla expansion helps you with the bad luck, or even with good luck. You can still kill off your dice and use Valhalla. So typically I will not play it without the expansion, but this time I had to teach the game. So we just threw in what we needed for 5 players and ignored everything that was additional. Still enjoyed the play. It was fun. Just not my preferred way of playing, and I definitely would have played with Valhalla thrown in if I had a little bit more time, but we were pressed for time. The 19th game I played this month is It's a Wonderful Kingdom, a little 2-player game based off of It's a Wonderful World, which I have not played, but I got It's a Wonderful Kingdom because I like engine builders, and this is a 2-player engine builder. With the iPick, you choose kind of play the board. I played this one solo. I think it's got a really good solo game to it too. It works really well. You're trying to get points while trying to avoid the calamities that are coming out. But you don't know where they are because there's a deck that have good and bad cards in it. And they're kept face down when you draft. So you might get them and you might not. And if you do get them, you got to deal with it. I think it has a really good solo play mechanic. I prefer to play it obviously with another person, but that's not always the case. And I just enjoy it either way. I enjoy engine builders, and It's a Wonderful Kingdom is an engine builder. All right, the 20th game I played this month is Skulls of Sedlec. It's another button shy game that I got this month. I played it solo, kind of a trend I think for a lot of my games. But you're building up basically a layout in a crypt, and you're going to score points based on where the royals are and where the criminals are buried and where the romantics are buried and where the priests are buried. And basically, however you lay it out, that's how many points you're going to get. So, decent little game, quick play, pretty easy to learn. Got that on the table after it arrived and had fun playing it a couple times. The 21st game I played this month was one I played this morning with a buddy while we were waiting to see if anybody else was going to show up. Squabblin Gobblins, another 2-player game. I played this one a month or 2 ago with my mom, and it's okay. You're playing cards either face up or face down, and depending on if it's a face up card or a face down card, you're doing the actions either now or at the end of the game, and then whoever ends up with the most points of cards on their side of the table at the end of the game wins. It's quick, easy, nothing exciting. Maybe some expansions could add more to it, but it works for what it is, and that is a filler. And it's an okay filler. The 22nd game I played was Ankh, the Gods of Egypt. It's new to me. I got this one last month, and I got it to the table today because nobody else showed up, so we decided to pull out because I hear it plays better with 2 people than more, even though it plays to 5. So I figured I'd give it a go while there are just 2 of us, because I know there's controversy around it when you get 3, 4, and 5 players because of the combined gods mechanic. Could end up hurting somebody who was not hurting previous to that turn action. I thought it was a decent game, a little area control chess style game where you're kind of planning and replanning your movements and your battles and trying to just take control of areas and get the most devotion points because of it. I thought it was a pretty fun game. Very chess-like. So if you're not a whole big strategic thinker, it might not be for you. But it's got big old minis on the board, if nothing else, that look really cool. It was enjoyable. Ankh, Gods of Egypt. And finally, the last game I played, we just played shortly before filming this. It's right here, Hamsterrolle, still on the table. It's a dexterity game where you're just trying to balance. I'm gonna pull back. You're trying to balance these wooden bits on the wheel, but you can only play them in one direction. So the wheel's going to be constantly spinning, and you're basically just trying to be the person who places all your pegs out onto the wheel. But as the wheel spins, pieces are going to fall off, and if they fall off onto the table on your turn, then you collect them, and now you've got to place those on the wheel. Really humorous, trying to place the pieces on and not have the pieces fall off as the wheel spins. And yeah, we just had an enjoyable time with it. Literally just got done playing it an hour or so ago. Played a few games of it with my daughter and my friend, and that is the last thing I played as of 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the 30th of June as I finished filming this. So there you have it, the 23 games I played in June of 2022. Again, I got a lot of new ones to the table this month. That's probably not always going to be the case, but I do try to keep new games coming in from the library. Hopefully I can borrow some from friends, go out to game groups and play other people's games. I had really good luck with doing that this month. But generally my goal is to try to get one new game in a week on average. And so I was ahead of that curve in June. I might be behind it in July. July is a busy summer month. Might have a lot of other things going on. But we'll see. I got my brother and his wife coming in. They get married next week, so they're coming to Europe for their honeymoon, and they will stop by to visit us for a few days. So I'm sure I'll probably play some games with them, whether they're new games or not, I don't know. But I'm rambling now about stuff you don't care about. So with that said, if you like this video, give me the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe. You'll see new content weekly on Sundays and occasionally in between as well. Leave a comment below what you played this month, or what are your favorite games that I played this month. What are games similar to what I have played and said I enjoyed that you think I should check out next month? Whatever it is, leave a comment below. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to you tuning in, letting other people know about my videos. I do have a plan if I hit 100 subscribers to do a shelf preview, walkthrough, review, whatever you want to call it, a little shelfy video, or maybe a series of videos depending on how I play it out. So if that's something that interests you and you'd like to see that, that's kind of my, hey, 100 subscribers, that's kind of my plan for a celebration, because I know a lot of people look forward to those type of videos. So there you have it. It's not something I want to do per se, because if you haven't noticed, my background changes all the time. I rearrange my games constantly. It's not even when I get a new game. It's whenever I come into this room, I'm like, I don't like that game there, I like it over there. So in order to do a shelf video, especially if it's a series of videos, I'm gonna have to stick to a certain setup. So I guess 100 subscribers will kind of put that commitment in. I put it on myself if I can get there. Right now I'm at 22, so a long ways to go, but that could happen overnight too, as channels can grow. I don't expect this video to be the one that grows the channel, but you never know. I appreciate you watching. I will see you next time. Thanks.